All right, now I got a scary chart for you at the end of this story. First of all, I have to explain to you where it's coming from. It turns out that a lot of people are spending money now in ways that can't be traced in politics. No. Well, the latest things that they're putting their money into, because of Citizens United and some other rulings of the Supreme Court, is what they call, and I love this, social welfare groups. Now, do they actually work on your welfare? No. Are they social? No. They're actually run mainly by a couple of billionaires who put money into there for tax reasons and for the ability to hide that money so they can spend it on politics without us knowing who's spending it. So, for example, conservative groups spend at least $15.8 million on issue ads to promote Republican candidates through these social welfare groups. So, by the way, the 2014 election is in November. I've never seen this kind of spending this far out from an election. Never. I mean, this is unbelievable amount of spending for March of an election year. And it's not even a presidential election. They're spending it on Senate and congressional races. And Democrats are spending money too, but it's a pittance. It's like the Democratic leaning groups are spending about $3 million. They're getting washed out in this particular case by the Republican conservative groups. Now, mind you, of course, Democratic President Obama raised a ton of money in 2008 and 2012. And by the way, yes, in 2012, also encouraged these social welfare groups working on his behalf. In this case, the conservative groups are spending more money. And where are they coming from and for what purpose? Who knows? We can't tell because of these loopholes that Citizens United has created that allows them to not disclose where the money is. But if you thought $16 million this early in an election is something, get a load of what these dark money groups have spent recently. So back in 2000, they had spent $25 million. Now, it was already terrible at that point, but that was pre-Citizens United. After Citizens United, in 2012, $336 million. Now, that's an awful lot of money from just dark money groups. That doesn't count the candidates, that doesn't count the groups that spend a ton of money and we can see where it's coming from and they don't give a damn and they spend it anyway. Now, some of the Koch brothers' money gets spent that way. Some of Karl Rove's groups spend money that way. This is just the dark money. That's $336 million. So who bought our politicians to the tune of over $300 million? I don't know. It's dark money. You can't trace it because it's technically a social welfare group. Now, here's your scary chart. Take a look at how that has taken off. So trade associations and unions are the bottom two lines. They're still spending money in politics. I would stop that as well. I don't want anybody buying our politicians. But look at the so-called social welfare 501c4 groups. Taking off like a rocket. That's your dark money chart right there, buying politicians at record-breaking pace. Does that chart look like we got a democracy to you? No. Open auction. wolf-pack.com. If you don't fix this, there's no point in arguing any other issue because the arguments and the debates and the policy points don't matter at all. The only thing that matters is who's got more dark money behind them.